Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development Betty Amongi has inaugurated a technical working group at the ministry headquarters in Kampala. The group will monitor, evaluate and provide technical advice on policies and institutional frameworks that can put an end to sexual harassment at workplaces.
Do we need a Senga, in quotes, and the HR, because these are the people who handle matters of welfare of staff? Are staff confident enough to go to the HR?
Whereas there are policies in place to discourage sexual harassment, the practice remains persistent and normal in workplaces, yet it affects everyone.
Online harassment has grown since the COVID-19 pandemic. Many employees are currently working from home, and the upturn in the sexual misconduct has been closely linked to the increased use of messaging apps, video platforms, personal devices, and a more casual tone that often comes from working from home.
Sexual harassment, on the other hand, is encouraged by cultural, religious and societal attitudes that justify forms of discrimination.
How do we determine in our culture where in, for example, Karamoja, for you to get a girl, you must run and make sure you grab the girl, take the girl inside, have sex with her forcefully, and then come out with a bed sheets, a white bed sheets, which is showing that she was still a virgin. So if you are telling us that is sexual harassment, how do we treat our culture?
Many of these have discouraged victims to report cases of sexual harassment at workplaces.
Some of them will say, please keep it confidential. I don't want to lose my job. But maybe from that point going forward, you'll start working on strategies that can help protect that person.
Focus now should be put on the informal places like construction sites, street vendors, flower plantations and factories where people are marginalized and suffer sexual harassment.
Make people embrace that really if you do this it is wrong. And mostly our target usually when it comes to gender issue, we target women and girls, and yet these are victims. Why don't we target the ones we think are likely to be the perpetrators?
So now I discovered the secret. If we are to protect our girl child, we must give attention to a boy child in order to train them how to care for these mothers, sisters.
While you are talking to them, a female, but also look at the male because they are the first to advance.
Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is pushing for an amendment of the Employment Act to make it mandatory for all workplaces to have sexual harassment measures, including placing in an open place messages restricting sexual harassment and having a private mechanism of reporting. Ivan Kahua and Sebira Andrew, UBC News in Kampala.